Hello guys, this is your friend Itachi Fanfic 3.0 and we are back a new fanfic story which is let's start fanfic without wasting more time. What if Naruto inherited not only their will of fire, but their powers too? The morning sun rose gently above the mountains of the Hidden Leaf village. Golden light spilled across the rooftops, glimmering off the faces carved into the Hokage monument. Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, Minato, Tsunade, Kakashi, and finally, Naruto. The village buzzed with life. Merchants setting up stalls, children laughing in the streets, and ninja hurrying to missions. Everything seemed peaceful, yet something deep within the air felt strange, like the whisper of an ancient chakra awakening after centuries of silence. At the edge of the forest near Training Ground 7, Naruto Uzumaki stood, his orange cloak fluttering behind him as he stared at the horizon. He had been Hokage for years, yet that restless energy never left him. He missed the thrill of battle, the voice of Kurama inside his heart, and the laughter of his old friends. But today, something different stirred within his chakra. Feels weird, he muttered. It's like someone's calling. Suddenly, the air rippled in front of him. Chakra swirled into a bright, golden light, forming a portal that shimmered like liquid sunlight. Naruto stepped back, raising his guard, but then his eyes widened in disbelief. From within the light stepped a man with golden hair and calm blue eyes, a white cloak flowing behind him with the kanji for fourth Hokage. Naruto froze. Dad. Minato Namikaze smiled gently. It's been a while, Naruto. Naruto's heart raced. But, how? You're gone. I know, Minato said, placing a hand on his son's shoulder. But some bonds are stronger than time itself. Before Naruto could reply, another puff of chakra smoke erupted beside them. Out stepped a tall man with spiky white hair, red lines under his eyes, and a massive scroll on his back. Well, he said with a smirk. Looks like the afterlife got boring, so they sent me back. Naruto's jaw dropped. Arrow Sennin. You too. Jiraiya crossed his arms and laughed. Still calling me that, huh? Guess some things never change. A third presence appeared. Calm, silent, silver-haired, with a masked face and one visible eye that curved in amusement. Kakashi-sensei. Naruto exclaimed. Kakashi shrugged. Seems like this turned into a full reunion. I didn't even get time to finish my book. Jiraiya chuckled. 3 generations of shinobi, all here at once. Guess fate's got one last mission for us. Minato nodded. Indeed. The balance of chakra has been disturbed. There's something coming. Something darker than anything we've faced. Naruto's expression turned serious. Then let's stop it together. As they moved through the forest, the trees grew quiet. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. The 4 of them, master, student, father, son, walked side by side, their footsteps echoing softly on the forest floor. Minato's golden cloak rustled as he said, "There's a force called the Void of Chakra. It was sealed away before the Sage of 6 Paths, time. Now it's awakening." Kakashi's eye narrowed. The same energy I sensed near the Land of Iron. It feeds on chakra, devours it. Jiraiya frowned. So it's true then, the prophecy. Naruto turned to him. Prophecy. The great Toad Sage once told me that when 4 generations, flames unite, the world will face its final trial, to prove humanity deserves chakra, or lose it forever. Naruto clenched his fists. Lose chakra. That means no jutsu, no ninjas, nothing. Exactly, Jiraiya said. The end of our way of life. Naruto looked up, determination flashing in his blue eyes. Then we're not gonna let that happen. Kakashi gave a soft chuckle behind his mask. You sound just like your father. Minato smiled proudly. And his mother. The wind picked up, carrying a whisper, cold and cruel. You, humans. A black mist began to rise around them, forming a massive shadowy figure with glowing red eyes and jagged edges like torn smoke. You squandered the sage's gift, the voice hissed. Now I will take it back. The forest trembled. Trees withered to ash as the creature's aura spread. Jiraiya's expression hardened. So this is the void. Kakashi activated his Sharingan. Get ready. Minato's kunai gleamed in his hand. Naruto, you led. We'll follow. Naruto grinned, cracking his knuckles. Hey, you don't have to tell me twice. The battle erupted like thunder. Minato blurred forward, teleporting instantly with his flying Raijin technique. Golden flashes filled the forest as he struck with Rasengan after Rasengan. Jiraiya slammed his hands together. Summoning Jutsu. Gamabunta. The giant toad appeared with a crash, sword drawn. You again, Jiraiya. This better be good. It's the fate of the world. Jiraiya yelled. Figures. Gamabunta swung his blade, slicing through the misty creature as Jiraiya leapt into Sage mode. Sage art. Fire style. Gomon. Flames, oil, and wind merged into a colossal inferno that burned through the darkness. Kakashi dashed in from behind, lightning crackling in his palm. Chidori. He pierced through the creature's form, but it reformed instantly, absorbing the energy. It's feeding on chakra. Kakashi shouted. Naruto's eyes widened. Then we'll give it something else to eat. Our hearts. Kurama's voice echoed within him. Hey, now you're talking, brat. Golden chakra erupted from Naruto, forming the radiant cloak of Six Paths Sage mode. The ground shook beneath his power. He raised his hand. Let's end this together. Minato appeared beside him, hand glowing with blue chakra. Father and son, one Rasengan. Kakashi's lightning wrapped around theirs, and Jiraiya's flames merged in, four colors of chakra swirling together. Let our generations unite. Naruto shouted. They thrust their combined power forward. Rasengan. Rebirth. The attack collided with the void, exploding into a storm of light and wind. The forest erupted, and a shockwave tore through miles of land. The shadow screamed as it disintegrated, its voice fading into the sky. You cannot stop destiny. The light faded. Silence fell. Smoke drifted over the shattered ground. The four stood side by side, breathing heavily. The forest was scarred, but alive. Naruto smiled weakly. Hey, guess we did it. Minato placed a hand on his shoulder. You've done more than that, Naruto. You've carried our will of fire farther than any of us. But as he spoke, the golden glow around him began to fade. Dad, Naruto said quietly. It's time, Minato said softly. Our spirits were only brought here for this. But don't be sad. You're not alone. Jiraiya laughed gently. You've made me proud, kid. You're the proof that the future is worth believing in. Kakashi smiled behind his mask. Looks like the student became the teacher, and then some. Naruto's eyes filled with tears. No, please, don't go yet. There's still so much I wanna say. Minato knelt and looked him in the eyes. Then say it through your actions. Protect your village. Love your people. That's how you'll talk to us. Naruto wiped his tears and nodded. I promise. Minato smiled. That's my son. As the morning sun broke through the clouds, the three legendary shinobi, Minato, Jiraiya, and Kakashi, faded into light, their spirits carried away on the wind. Naruto stood alone amid the ruins, feeling the warmth of their chakra still glowing inside him. He looked at his hands, clenched them tightly, and whispered, Thank you, all of you. I'll keep your fire burning. He turned toward the village, the home they had all fought for, and began walking back, his cloak fluttering behind him in the rising sun. Years passed. The leaf thrived, stronger than ever. Children played in the academy yard, laughing, dreaming of becoming shinobi like the heroes they'd grown up hearing about. In the Hokage's office, Naruto sat at his desk, buried in scrolls and mission reports. His hair had grown slightly longer, his face a little older, but his eyes still burned with that same bright determination. On the wall behind him hung 3 portraits. Jiraiya, smiling as always. Minato, calm and proud. Kakashi, with that lazy eye curve that meant everything was okay. Naruto leaned back in his chair and smiled softly. Guess I'm doing all right, huh? A gentle breeze passed through the open window. The papers fluttered, and for just a moment, he could almost hear their voices. Keep going, Naruto. We're proud of you. The will of fire never dies. Naruto chuckled quietly. Yeah, I know. Suddenly, the door burst open. Dad, you promised to train with me today. Boruto stood there, arms crossed. Naruto laughed. All right, I'm coming. He glanced once more at the portraits, his heart full. Then he grabbed his Hokage cloak, tossed it over his shoulders, and walked out with his son, the next generation of the Will of Fire. Outside, the sun shone brightly over the Hokage monument. The carved faces glowed golden in the light, generations of heroes watching over the village they loved. And though they were gone, their legacy burned brighter than ever, carried by one stubborn, smiling ninja who never gave up. Naruto looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Sensei. Thanks, Kakashi. Your fire's safe with me." The night after the battle was quiet. Stars shimmered above the Hidden Leaf Village, and the Hokage monument glowed under the moonlight. Naruto stood alone at the edge of the cliff, the wind rustling through his cloak. The village below looked peaceful, as if the fight earlier had been just a dream. He closed his eyes. Dad, Kakashi-sensei, Ero Sennin, I can still feel you. The voice of Kurama echoed faintly inside him, warm and calm. They're proud of you, Naruto. You carried all of them in that battle. Naruto smiled sadly. Yeah, but it doesn't make saying goodbye any easier. Kurama's deep chuckle rumbled softly. Goodbyes are just promises waiting to be fulfilled. Their fire burns in you now. Naruto nodded slowly, looking down at the village lights that twinkled like stars on Earth. I'll protect this place no matter what. That's my ninja way. The next morning, the village was already alive again. Builders worked to repair the damage from the battle, and people were whispering stories about a golden light that had saved them from a shadow in the woods. No one knew exactly what happened, but the name Naruto Uzumaki was once again spoken with gratitude and pride. Naruto walked through the streets quietly, greeting everyone with his usual wide grin. But inside, his heart was heavy. Every corner of the village reminded him of those who had shaped him. Jiraiya's laughter, Kakashi's quiet strength, Minato's gentle smile. As he reached Ichiraku Ramen, Tsuki waved. Ah, Naruto. Been a while since you came for breakfast. Naruto chuckled. Hey, guess I've been too busy being Hokage. He sat at the counter and looked at the steaming bowl of ramen before him. One miso, extra pork, and, he hesitated, smiling faintly, one for my old man too. Tsuki blinked. He's not. Naruto shook his head. He's watching from somewhere better. He picked up his chopsticks, staring at the rising steam. For a brief moment, he imagined Jiraiya sitting beside him, scribbling in his notebook, Kakashi quietly reading, and Minato smiling, just enjoying the peace. He raised his bowl slightly. Thanks for everything, you guys. He ate slowly, each bite heavy with memories, warmth, and gratitude. Later that evening, Naruto visited the memorial stone near the village outskirts, the same one Kakashi used to visit every morning. The names of countless shinobi glimmered under the fading sunlight. He knelt down, placing 3 white lilies beside it. Jiraiya-sensei, Kakashi-sensei, Dad, he whispered. I finally understand what you were trying to teach me. He took a deep breath, his voice soft but steady. You all showed me that being Hokage isn't just about strength. It's about love. For the village, for your comrades, for the next generation. He looked up at the sky. You can rest now. I'll carry it from here. The wind swept through the trees, and the petals of the lilies danced upward, as if answering him. That night, Naruto returned home. Hinata and Boruto were waiting. Himawari ran up and hugged him. Papa, welcome home. Naruto laughed and picked her up. I'm home. Boruto looked at him curiously. Dad, you look different today. Lighter. Naruto smiled. Maybe I finally let go of some old ghosts. He ruffled Boruto's hair. Come on, let's have dinner. Your mom made ramen. They sat together, laughing, talking about school, missions, and life. And as Naruto watched his family, his new generation, he realized something beautiful. Even though Jiraiya, Minato, and Kakashi were gone, they lived on through him, and through the people he loved. Later that night, as everyone slept, Naruto stood by the window. The moon was full, bathing the village in silver light. He whispered softly, "Hey, everyone, I kept my promise." And though no one answered, he could almost feel them, standing behind him, proud and smiling. Minato's calm voice. Jiraiya's hearty laugh. Kakashi's quiet chuckle. They were still there, in every breath of wind, in every flicker of firelight across the village. Naruto placed a hand over his heart. Your will of fire will never go out. I'll make sure of it, for the rest of my life. He looked out toward the Hokage monument, the faces of his mentors shining in the moonlight. The fire in his eyes burned bright as ever. The will of fire, passed down through 4 generations, continued to blaze. And with that, the 7th Hokage smiled, turned from the window, and whispered one last promise into the night. Tomorrow, I'll keep building the world you all dreamed